Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bank, Phillies podcast. I am your host, Pete, along with my co-host, Henry. What is up, my guy?
Phillies are back.
Say the word. Phillies
Phillies are
are
back.
back. How about them Phillies, bro? 3 out of 4 from the Braves. Love to see it, dog. Love to see it. I'm in a great mood. Great mood.
Poverty. The Braves are poverty. As far as
Oh,
I'm
man.
concerned, they suck.
Oh, man. Dude, we needed that.
Big
We
time.
needed that. Like, just that, the circumstances behind that whole series, like, it's just, people just don't get it. People that aren't Phillies fans, people that, are Phillies fans, but then are like, oh, I guess we'll watch whatever. Like, you just don't get it, bro. Like, that
No.
was huge for them to get that to 3 out of 4 for that series, man.
And the big thing, I think, was coming out of the Astros series, which we took 2 out of 3. That
Yep.
third game was just so bad.
So bad. We don't talk about
Everybody
it, but it's
thought,
bad.
everybody thought, well, we needed the momentum going into the Braves series. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of uncertainty among the fan base, and I heard people calling on WIP. They were uncertain. Like, it was just everywhere, So it was an interesting place to be, and I'm glad that they responded the way they did. To get 3 out of 4 from, I guess our biggest rival right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. It's just, I had a feeling like they could take 3 out of 4 going into the series.
Yeah.
As not much momentum going into it from that last Astros game or whatever. I was kind of worried, but at the same time, I kind of wasn't, just because I was like, hey, listen, they know, going into this Atlanta series, this is probably the biggest series of the year. So
especially with how our pitching lined up as well. We had our 4 best going.
Exactly. They all did pretty well for the most part. I mean, other than Ranger outside of that game, which was kind of rough. But I mean,
But he didn't even do that bad, though.
No, he didn't, and we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. But I'm just, I don't put that loss on him.
No, absolutely not. But and Nick Castellanos just, throughout the whole series, I mean, he came up big in huge spots for us. Yeah, he does. He does. But yeah, it just feels good, man. Like it feels good. Feels good.
Yeah. Great place to be at, man.
It is. It is.
Fantastic place to be.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll get right into it. So we'll rewind to game 1 on Thursday. Phillies get the 5-4 win. Christopher Sanchez had a good game as he had 8 strikeouts, but got roughed up a little bit. As Orlando Arcia started off the second inning with a double that drove in a run, and then the third and sixth inning, Olsen hit a homer off of him, which put the Braves up 4-0. Nothing from the offense up until the 6th inning when Marsh hit a 3-run homer to make it 4-3. That kind of got the crowd back into it. A little momentum for us, which was great. And then in the 7th inning, Castellanos hit a 2-run homer to take a 5-4 lead, which kind of just blew the roof off the place, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And then the bullpen held up very well with performances from Kerkering. He looks like he's getting back into the groove now, which is good to see. Strahm did his usual thing, and then Hoffman, I mean, can't ask much else from the bullpen, but that first game was at first very excruciating, and then the offense kind of woke up. And I mean, that homer for Castellanos was just great.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's just like rock steady all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was a big Castellanos guy as soon as he signed, and people gave him a lot of grief for the first year that he was here.
Yep.
And I don't mean to make this a whole Castellanos thing, but he had such a rough year his first year, and in the playoffs he was decent in 2022.
Yeah.
Like, he was a big reason why they went to the World Series. Like, then the next year he just completely picked it up. He didn't get off to a great start this year, but like, I'm one of those people who, when he does good things, I'm like, I always believed in this guy. Like, I would hold him accountable, but there's a difference between me just thinking the guy sucks and me thinking that he's capable of better. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people, like, it takes time to adjust to a new team. He's here on a 5-year contract. Like, it takes time. So I think now he's finally comfortable. He knows his role. He's a leader in the clubhouse, which who would have thought he would have been a leader when he got here? I thought it was going to be Schwarber, and it has been Schwarber, but Castellanos stepped up as well. So for him to be the guy that's leading the charge, and they talked about it a lot, the bottom of the lineup is what's winning them these games right now, and he's a big piece of that. Now, lately, the last couple of games with Bohm being out, he's been batting fourth, but he's still a plug for the bottom of that lineup. So
Mm.
it's just huge to see that no matter where he's plugged into, he's hitting.
Yeah, and you look back at it like at the beginning of this year. I mean, he was batting like what 188 at one point at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year. It was just
Yep.
it didn't look good. And eventually everybody's still had confidence. It was still early in the season for him to turn it around,
Of
but
course.
I mean, and seeing him in the 4 spot right now, I mean, do we want to keep him there right now? I mean, do we
We
want to
might
stay
as
consistent
well.
with that? Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not our 4 spot traditionally over the last year and a half has not been for power.
yeah,
So I'm not concerned about it. I like it.
yeah. I mean, listen, if he can stay consistent and
When
if it
Bohm comes
gives him
back, it should be
confidence, it's good.
Bohm. But like when Bohm comes back, it should be him because I think Castellanos does better in the bottom of the lineup than he does where he's at right now at number
Okay,
4. But I just I just think he's very comfortable down there,
yeah.
and Bohm likes hitting behind Harper
Mm.
and stuff like that. So I just think as a matter of routine, I think Bohm should just stay there.
For sure, yeah, and it's a good thing to see that Bohm is not gonna have to go into IL, thankfully. So hopefully he's back as soon as possible because we're definitely gonna
Yeah,
need him.
yeah.
So it was
I
thank
think he's.
God.
They said he's going to be back for Toronto. So
Good, good.
he almost
Um,
beat Castellanos out to first base today. Did you see that? He was the first one out there with the water throwing it on him. It was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
It
it
was
was
so
good.
cool.
So yeah, game one was really cool. It set the tone for the series. It's always good to get that first game win. It was awesome. We go
It
into
was a
game
good
two.
style win too. Like they
Oh
needed
yeah, it
that kind
was.
of win because they haven't had a ton of those.
Yeah, no, for sure,
And
for
that
sure.
tied the season high for runs they've came back. So like they for amount of runs they were down to come back. So like
Mm,
it was the most runs they've come back from in a deficit. Like it was tied with like I think it was like some game in June or something or May,
yeah.
somewhere around there. I should have written it down, but
Yeah, no, I
why would I
listen,
do
let's
that?
also give credit to, like, Marsh too. I mean, like, he was the reason we got back into that game with that homer. I mean,
I would
you
like
know
to formally apologize to Brandon Marsh. They don't need to send him down anymore.
yeah, no.
He's been on a
Eh,
heater ever since I said that.
well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, were they really gonna send him down? Like, was that even gonna be a thought that
No,
crossed their
of
mind?
course
But, like,
not. Did
we're
I
on
really
here
think
saying
they
that.
would?
Yeah,
No.
no, obviously not.
At
Come
that
on
time,
now.
I probably would have been celebrating in the streets. I'm just kidding.
I
I wouldn't
mean,
have
yeah,
done
I mean,
that,
for
but
God's sakes, if they're not, DFAing Taiwan Walker, then I don't think they're gonna be sending Brandon Marsh AAA. So, but hey, that's beyond me. I mean, Thompson did say he's gonna be moving to the bullpen, so maybe that's a
yeah.
good thing. So
Anyway, enough wasting air on that guy.
yeah, exactly. So we go into game two, not as great as game one. Phillies take the 7-2 loss. Rangers started off the game great. He was in command, he was in control. But then in the third inning, Arcia and Sean Murphy homered off Suarez back to back, which kind of was like, all right, like, whatever. And then Stott homered in the fourth to put them on the board. But the rest of the game, it was kind of just ugly. Like it just didn't seem to
JT
be
hit the
going our way.
solo bomb. Don't forget
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. He hit the solo bomb at the end, which hey, whatever. I guess that's
Chris
good to
Paul
see.
meme.
Yeah, Chris Paul insert the Chris Paul meme. But yeah, Friday's game was not great at all. And I know you talked about it earlier. I mean, you're not going to put that loss on Suarez, but it seemed like
Right.
he started off great, like I said, and then it just kind of seemed like he lost a little bit and got to
He's
second time around to the lineup.
he struck out 5 in a row to start the game. So,
Yeah, so
it's kind of like it's weird. Like he seems to struggle with the bottom of lineups.
mhm,
If you're going to pick a struggle in the lineup,
yeah,
I think he struggles with the bottom of the lineup in the weirdest way.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it just seemed like the second or third time around, it was just like I guess they figured out something or saw something. It was kind of just like they just kind of took off from there, and the
Yeah.
Braves really never looked back, and it's unfortunate because it's like we saw how much of a good start he had, coming back off the injured list against Kansas City. And then he has
Right.
this type of game. It's like you kind of start to think about it, like going into the future. And people were talking about it on Twitter. It's like, what Ranger are we going to get? Because, Ranger is going to be a huge piece for us in the postseason with,
Yeah.
the rotation. It's like, listen, I have trust in Ranger. I always
Me
do.
too. Me
We talk
too.
about it all the time. His demeanor on the mound and stuff like that.
He
How calm he
he
is.
hasn't given us a reason not to trust him in the postseason. I'll put
Yeah,
it that way.
exactly.
And
Yeah, for sure.
I hate to be like, well, he has to screw up for me to let him sit. Like, not necessarily, but
Yeah,
I mean, he's cool, calm, and collected. He always is.
yeah, for sure.
So I'm not worried about him.
Yeah, no, me neither.
And if
And
anybody is worried about him, you have another one in Christopher Sanchez right behind him. So
exactly.
don't get too down.
Yeah, for sure. And let's just be honest too. I mean, the offense didn't really help in this game. Um, and it even happened in the games we won too. I would really like the offense to start scoring in the first inning when we're threatening with people on base. Like that would actually be kind of nice. Like I just, it'd be great because it's kind of frustrating every time we get runners on base to start the first inning and it
Aggravating.
goes absolutely nowhere. And then the team that we're versing goes the next inning and scores runs. So it's just like let's try to do a better job on that. Let's work on that before we go into to
Yeah,
October.
it just, dude, just
Just
pisses me off. I'm trying to find
oh my
uh,
gosh.
note that I put down. Maybe I didn't. Well, whoops. Anyway, um, I had a stat from Larry Anderson and Scott Fransky from the other night, but I forget what it was. I thought I wrote it down, but it's okay. I mean, I'm so sick of that lackluster offense.
Yeah, it's
I
annoying.
really am. Like, like you said, just score when you have runners on base. It's
Please.
not every time, but my God, it even happened tonight.
I know. And the double plays, I
Oh my
just
God.
I beg to stop
Yeah,
hitting in
I'm
the double
over it.
plays. Please,
I'm over it, man.
just stop. Listen, there's a lot of positive and negatives to take from the series, and I know we went through it before, but it's like these little things. It's like just what I want them to fix. Just stop doing it because I can't take one more double play. I swear to God. But yeah, game two is bad. But then we move into game three. Phillies get the 3-0 win. Wheeler pitched an amazing game, and he finally got some run support with homers from Edmundo Sosa and Trey Turner. And then Hoffman and Estevez both came into the game and had great innings. I mean, listen, if with Hoffman and Estevez, I mean, them in the eighth and ninth, whatever they're going to be, what position, whatever, it's going to work out. But it's just great also to see that Wheeler got some run support in this game.
Yeah, yeah. Thank God. It's about
Yeah,
time
yeah,
because he never gets it.
yeah, no,
We always keep crying for it. There it is.
yeah. It was just great to see, and you could tell,
That
Wheeler
felt like
was.
a playoff game last
Oh, it
night.
did.
That
Yeah,
felt
it
like a
did.
playoff game.
It did, and and Wheeler, man, I mean, he was just on his stuff that like last night. It was just seven
Yeah.
strikeouts, only give up 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, no
Eh,
walks. I mean,
that's big.
yeah, it is. It
And
is.
I don't mean to give any credit to John Smoltz and the Fox broadcasting team, but he did make a very, very good point. He said every run in this series has mattered, no
Hmm.
matter what.
Oh
Now the
yeah,
7-2 game, I guess if you want to say it didn't, but like for me, up until like 2 outs in the 8th inning, I thought we could come back still. Like,
oh yeah,
me personally. I don't know. It was just a feeling I had. So,
yeah,
every run of this series mattered. I mean,
for sure.
for God's sake, we took 2 or 3. Did we take 2 or no, we lost 2 or 3 from the Braves down in Atlanta,
Yeah,
and we only scored a total of 6 runs. We scored 5 in the first game. So every single run matters, you know?
it does.
So, it was
Yeah,
just
and
big to see.
for sure. And I don't know what it is, but like when Max Fried pitched for them, I feel like we always get some type of like big homer off of him when it
Yeah,
matters.
that's
It's
a
just
weird one.
it is. It
They
is. I
seem to
mean,
hit him pretty well, which is weird.
yeah, it's and I think Trey hit another homer off of him, which like tied the
Yes.
most off of him, I think with JT or whatever. So that was
Uh,
pretty interesting to see.
mhm.
But yeah, man, it's just great game overall on Saturday. Shut them out. Bullpen was. I mean, we didn't even have to use too much of our bullpen because I mean Wheeler pitched 7 full innings, so that's what you want out of him. He probably could have
Right.
won another inning, but it's okay to save him for some rest or whatever. And getting into today's game, game four, Phillies get the 3-2 win in extra innings. Nola pitched a decent game as he had 9 strikeouts, along with his usual 1 homer that he gives up every game to Michael Harris, which no surprise there. We knew that was going to
He
happen.
plays like prime Willie Mays when he
It's
plays
crazy.
against us. Like, I don't believe it. That home
Yeah.
run robbery, you can be a hater all you want, but that catch was crazy
Yeah. Scoreboard.
in the third game.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. Uh, and one standout player of this game, I would say that was Castellanos. He was huge in this game. He hit a double in the 6th inning to tie the game. And then fast forwarding to the 11th inning, Castellanos hit a single to center field to walk off the Braves. I mean, we were talking about it before. It's just seems like he comes up in the big moments throughout this whole
Yeah.
series, and then it just so happens to be in the last game to give us that third win. He comes through for us.
Right.
It was a very entertaining game, and it felt like October.
Oh yeah, it felt just like October. Yeah, I mean, it was like super entertaining. Super
Mm,
entertaining. I heard a stat on the way home. Castellanos got the last 2 hits for the Phillies of the game. The last hit that we had before the walk-off was his 2-run double. So, it was definitely a struggle offensively. I was actually keeping score
mm,
it like at my seat,
yeah,
watching. And it was just like it was such a pitcher's duel, man. Like Schwellenbach, for whatever reason, we never have anything for him.
yeah. I
Today
don't
we
know
were
why.
better against him. We had better quality at bats
Yeah.
against him than we did last time when we saw him in Atlanta before. And Nola pitched a great game. So when the game started, I saw this. This is from Matt Gelb. Tonight's Aaron Nola's 37th career regular season start against the Braves. It's the most by any pitcher against Atlanta since MLB realigned in 1994. Cole Hamels, Yvonne Hernandez, and Steven Strasburg all had 36 each. So he has the most regular season starts against the Braves in
Wow.
baseball since 1994. And then I saw from Tim Kelly Sports on Twitter. Tonight was the 18th quality start, which, to clarify that, it's at least 6 innings pitched with 3 runs or less
Mm,
from Aaron Nola. It's the 18th game where he's given up 3 runs or less, 3 earned runs or less in 6 innings, and at least 6 innings. The
yeah.
only pitcher in the NL with more is Zach Wheeler, who has 21. That is huge from a starting pitching perspective. That's unbelievable.
Hell yeah.
The things they're doing, I mean, my goodness. Like this is, you know, Cole Hamels and I mean, who even was the next starter in that team? Honestly.
Joe
Like,
Bland.
yeah, it's like Cole Hamels, Joe Blanton stuff, man. Like it's crazy.
Shout out Joe Bland.
Oh man, he's last pitcher to ever homer in the World Series.
Yes,
But
sir.
but it's just it's wild to have this is the kind of stuff that makes you feel like they have to get it done.
Oh yeah.
This is the kind of stuff. And Nola had 21 swings and misses tonight. 21. That's
Yeah.
huge. It's more than he had against Atlanta the last time he played them, like all that stuff, man. It's he did such a good job tonight
Mhm.
that I think a lot of people are going to overlook it because of the walk off. But we
Yeah.
were only in that game because of him. And to I know this is a long statement, but to credit the bullpen tonight, the
Oh yeah.
bullpen was like shut down. It was unbelievable. So I'm just going to read some stats here that I have. I just
Go
want to
ahead.
clarify that I have the right stuff going here. Just give me 1 second. So in 5 innings, all
Mhm.
split up between Kirkring, Hoffman, Strom, and Estevez. Which, by the way, those are the big four now.
Oh
Those are
yeah.
the big. Those are the big four.
And they need to be on their stuff, like
Yes,
for us to
yes.
succeed.
Well, like we were texting about Kirkring. I said that it was huge, and you agreed. It was massive for this team that they could go to the same guy 3 days in a row, and with one day off, then do a fourth day. Like
Yeah.
it's massive. He had 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. I mean, Hoffman had an inning with 2 Ks, 1 hit. Strom had 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 walks, no Ks, but he got out of it.
Yep.
And Estevez had 2 whole innings with 2 strikeouts, no hits, no walks. Didn't allow anybody on base. That's huge. When they were going
Yeah.
to trot him out for the second, I had chest pain.
Just major. It's just like just on the edge of your seat. I was at a fantasy draft with other people, and I was just glued to the TV. It's like once that game went on, I was glued to the TV. But yeah, it like that. Those four right there are gonna be the backbone of the bullpen going into October. And
Yeah.
we saw that Alvarado came back, which thankfully everything hopefully is
Everything
okay
was
with
okay.
him.
He seemed
Yeah.
very appreciative of the team and the fans
Yes,
support, which I'm
for sure.
glad it didn't seem like. I'm glad it wasn't anything that was like a fracture in a clubhouse or something like that. I of course you never want him to go through a personal matter,
No.
but I'm just glad that he was able to take care of what he had to take care of and come back with a positive attitude.
For sure. And I mean, you add him into the mix with those four, and he if he can get back to the way he was pitching before, I mean,
Even
you
if he's
can't ask for
just
much more.
serviceable, even if he's
Exactly,
just
just
serviceable,
serviceable. That's all we
right,
asked for. That'd be great. And
right,
I'm really happy to see Kirkering get back at it because I'm really a huge fan of him, and I know he's going to be with us for the next couple of years. Oh,
yeah,
and also Hoffman, and we see Fritz talk about it all the time. Shout out to him, but need to extend him. Need to figure it out some way or
yeah,
another. You need to
yeah,
keep him around because that
yep.
guy just stone cold on the mound, dude. Like it is his
He
confidence is
he's a
great to watch,
badass,
bro.
man.
Dude, he
He's
is. Dude, he is.
he ends an inning and he's like, "Yeah, I just did that.
Yeah,
See ya.
yeah,
Go sit down." Like that's crazy, bro.
yeah. And
I love it.
shout out to Strom getting out of that bases loaded thing. I mean, it's just
Dude, the
that's what you
ballpark
need.
erupted when that happened.
Yeah, yeah. I believe it. I believe it.
Erupted. Like
And
it felt just like October. And it was a close game, and going into the sixth or whatever, it was a sixth, right? When Castellanos hit the double, the
mhm,
2-run double. Okay. Going into the sixth, I was pleasantly surprised that nobody left before that.
yeah,
Like, there weren't many people that left. And when it went into extras, I thought people were just gonna be like, well, we're bagging it, like I'm out.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, not at
No,
all. Not at all.
no.
So it was
It's
just I love that place.
we all
Like,
do.
there's a reason that we named this podcast. I mean, you came up with the name, but like, there's a reason we named this podcast Beyond the Bank because the bank is such a special place. And Castellanos talked about it post game. There's nothing like being there. Like,
Oh, there's nothing.
you know what I
Nothing
mean?
like
Like,
it.
when are you going to give your own player a standing ovation and in the same place can't take his keys to a guy who got a DUI? Nowhere, nowhere in the league. You know,
Oh my
They-
god. It's wild. But nah, and real quick too, like Estevez, these last couple of performances from him are probably the best we've seen so far as with him being a Philly. I mean, it just seems like he's kind of starting to get comfortable now and get used to it. So that's really good to see. So
yeah,
I love to
and
see that.
that's why I was so nervous about the second inning because
Hmm.
I was reverting back to all that hard contact he kept giving up when we
Yeah.
first got him.
Yeah.
So he actually has. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, I bookmarked another tweet. Um, where is it? Here we go. Carlos Estevez as a Philly has a 1.84 ERA, .89 WHIP, 3 walks and 14 strikeouts. George Klassen as an Angel
Mhm.
has a 6.41 ERA with a 1.93 WHIP, 18 walks and 22 strikeouts. That's a fleecing. And
Yeah.
Agdehari, which I still don't know how to say his name, unfortunately.
Whatever.
But he actually got called up by the Angels, and he was actually the first ever Italian-born, Italian-raised professional baseball player, which I thought that was pretty cool. So
Interesting.
shout out to him.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Good luck. Nah, but yeah. But
What a
and
poverty
real
organization that
Yeah,
is.
exactly. And real quick, I want to bring up a point that I think was before Friday's game. I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct. We saw the comments that Harper made about him playing right now and the struggles he's been having, and he was kind of talking about the fact that he's a little banged up a little bit. He's had some elbow issues or whatever, and sore wrist and whatnot. Um, I can't lie with you, they kind of concern me a little bit. I'm kind of hoping that, and I see this as what they're doing right now, is that if they can get closer and closer and closer to getting that magic number down and clinching
Sit
the
him.
division, and
Yeah.
eventually clinching the division, having enough time to really sit him and give him some rest before October is
Even
kind of what I
DH.
see here.
Well, I was gonna say even DH him, but I don't want Schwarber in left field. So
No, exactly, and that's the thing. I mean, it's just it concerned me to hear those comments a little bit, just because
yeah,
it's like, listen, man, like we're gonna need you for the long stretch and into October, so it's like you might have to sit at one point.
yeah. And the thing that concerns me most about the injuries, and actually Fritz brought it up on the final out.
Mhm.
I believe it was Friday night. Like these injuries seem like they're lingering ones.
Yeah,
Like the Tommy John one, you knew what you had, and it was just going to be production's only going to go like this, and this is why this is hurting, blah blah blah. This is
yeah,
just just like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's just wear and tear. I hope this doesn't linger for October.
yeah. I mean,
I hope it doesn't linger for October. That's my only worry.
for sure. And I kind of thought about it earlier, back to 2022, right before they went into the postseason. They sat Wheeler down because he had like that right
Yes.
arm tendonitis or whatever. I
Mhm.
think that's what it was, and
It
they
was something
sat
about his
him.
elbow.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
sat him for a couple games before the playoffs, and then he kind of went into the playoffs. A little bit of of rest, and he kind of was on fire for the postseason for us, which was good. But yeah, it concerned me to hear the comments for sure, because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't like to hear that.
I'm just glad I was right. I wish I was
Yeah,
wrong, but I'm
well,
glad I was
yeah,
right.
we're hoping you're wrong, but I mean,
Yeah, of course. Of
with
course.
the way he's been struggling,
It seems like
knew
it's a
something was
lot
going
of
on.
wear and tear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just glad that it's not like he just sucks. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
he hasn't hit a home run at home since July 27th, by the way.
yeah, that's a
And
little
I can't wait till he does because it's
worrisome.
just gonna
Oh yeah,
just it's gonna be
then we're then we're
awesome.
officially
It's gonna
back.
be crazy. Yeah, right, right. Then we're officially back. You're right.
But yeah, so overall though, great series, 3 out of 4. That's
Yeah.
all you could ask for. I mean, we were gonna be okay with the split, but I really wanted to get three
I
out of
really
four.
wanted 3 out of 4. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
We
really
would have
did.
lived with a split, but, like,
Yeah,
3
yeah.
out of 4 is ideal.
Like the energy level right now would have been like
It would have
lower.
been, "Well, at least we got 2
Yeah,
out of 4."
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know. We would
but
have been playing very conservative, but now it's just the Braves are ass.
exactly.
And thank you, Whit Merrifield, for being terrible.
Oh yeah.
And Arcia too, by the way, with 3 strikeouts tonight. So thank you.
Adios. Do you need a new Philly sports t-shirt? Want to rep more Phillies apparel? Philly Goat is your way to go, and you can use the code BTBPOD for 10% off your next order. Beyond the Bank is proud to be an affiliate with Philly Goat. As always, go Phils.
All right, and with that, we're gonna go into Pete's picks. I know we have a day off tomorrow, unfortunately, but what we got coming up?
Yep, so day off tomorrow, and then we go into Toronto on Tuesday for a 2-game series.
I
And it
hate
says,
those.
yeah, they're annoying. Tyler Phillips is on the mound against Chris Bassett. And then Wednesday we have Christopher Sanchez against let's see, this first guy's Bowden Francis. I hope I'm
Okay.
saying that right.
Yeah, I
Who
don't know.
knows? Anyway, though, those are the pitching matchups for Wednesday's game. Um, I'm not gonna lie with you. I think we can take both of these games.
Yeah. They're a last place team, dude.
Yeah, but just hoping that the offense can be consistent against
Yes.
a team like this, because we
Right.
know sometimes they play down to their level. So
Yeah, yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see what happens. But I will say we take both of those games in Toronto. And then we head into Miami on Thursday for a 4-game series. Um, we know how Miami can be sometimes. They played us surprisingly pretty well last time they're in Philly,
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately, in that first game.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say that we'll take. I'll give 3 out of 4 for Miami. I know we'll probably drop one there, but listen, just
If we lose 3 games over this stretch,
yeah,
uh, we're in serious trouble.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so those are my picks for the week.
Sweet.
Yeah, so listen, man, this is we're in September now, so this
Yeah.
is we're getting
Magic
down to
number
the
is
wire here.
18 to clinch the division, by the way.
Oof, dude. It's gonna start getting like nerve-wracking when we get down
Yeah, it
to
is.
single digits and we're just
It
like
is.
waiting and seeing
Well,
like
because you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna get to single digits, then they're gonna hit a 3-game skid, and we'll be like, "Ah!"
yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I mean,
But
it's just, they got some tough
I mean, I
competition at the
don't
end of the
I don't know
season.
what the Braves schedule is looking like towards the end of the season, but um, a lot of it's going to depend on them, and we control
Yep,
our own destiny right now.
we do.
You need to put your foot on the throat of these bad teams that are coming up. 2 last place teams. We have the Mets coming to town. You know, woohoo! But you have to beat these teams you're supposed to beat.
Please.
And
Just please.
honestly, they've been doing it most of the year, which is
Oh
very
yeah.
unlike Philly, to be honest. Because I mean, I was talking with a guy. I was talking with who was I talking with today? I forget, but they were beating like this year. They're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, as opposed to like folding every time
Yeah.
that like we're supposed to get a sweep, and then it's just like, oh, no, split.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Playing down to their competition.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, dude. And you know what? It's funny is that like I have a feeling that I mean, if everything goes well next couple weeks and whatever happens with the Braves, they're gonna clinch the division while I'm away. I'm gonna be on a cruise from the 21st to the 26th. So I know that's gonna
That's
happen
gonna
where I'm just
be
gonna hopefully I can watch it. But
miserable for you.
yeah, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, listen, if they would have took
I'll be at the
care,
ballpark like
yeah, that's fine.
going nuts.
Celebrate for both of us. But
Yeah, oh, I
I mean,
will.
you look back on it, bro, like, and some of the like that skid that they went through from like the All-Star break on or
Until
whatever,
like
and
last week. Yeah, I know exactly
yeah,
what
like
you're
if they would have just took care of business, some of those series, like how much of a better position we'd be in right
I
now, like
know.
to win the
But
division. It's
then it
like
wouldn't be as fun.
it wouldn't be, and like I always say, it's all gonna be part of the story, man. It is, it is. I'm saying it again. No, don't take your headphones off. Come on, dog. You knew I had to bring it up. I haven't said it in a very long time.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
been a couple weeks.
I had to get it off my chest, and this is what plays into the
Yeah,
story, man. But
it's been a
yeah,
couple weeks.
it's
I can
this
just see the
is
yearbook moment from
yeah.
tonight in my head now. So
Oh, I could. Yeah. We'll still be there to watch it. We will still
I
be there.
can't
But
wait, dude. I can't wait.
just take care of business this month and these next couple weeks, and we'll be okay. Build some
Do what we have to do.
momentum. Yeah,
We
yeah,
have to do it this year.
yeah. Clinch,
It
clinch
has
the
to get done.
clinch the division. Give Harper some rest before October, and we'll be in
Do
good
you
shape.
think
So
I had an idea? I had a thought at work. I was talking to a couple guys from work about it. Do you think that if we clinch the division, right, and
mm,
our seed is essentially set, whether it's first, second, third, whatever,
yeah.
we clinch the division, we have our playoff spot, all things are set,
Yeah.
essentially. Do you think Walker gets a start?
I
I know
wouldn't be
it's a tough one.
surprised.
I wouldn't
I
either.
wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either, because the game wouldn't matter.
No, yeah, exactly. Just throw away a
I
game.
saw a stat, dude. I forgot to mention this too.
Oh gosh.
From Brandon Lee Gouton on Twitter.
Mm.
Um, the Phillies are 12-3 with a run differential of plus 39 in their last 15 non-Taiwan Walker starts.
Oh boy. Yeah,
Oh
that's
man. But
yeah.
when you think about it, he'd be starting a game where the batting order is like Garrett Stubbs at 4. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these games don't really, matter
Yeah.
at all at that point.
I
So
don't want to see
just
him
thought I had.
start ever again, to be honest with you. But hey, if it's a
Yeah, I mean,
giveaway game, then
me
so be it.
neither. Yeah. At
Whatever.
that point, I'll just turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
That way I
But
won't feel bad about turning it off.
yeah. So never again. Goodbye.
Never again.
But yeah, so listen, 3 out of 4. Keep saying it.
We'll
Love
take
it.
it.
Feel good. Per usual though,
Bills are back.
yeah, Phils are back. Phils are back. Per usual, though, so I always say, audio listeners, keep hitting that download button. We recently just reached another mark. I know some people saw it on our story. We got the 750 downloads. Big achievement for us. We're still growing as a podcast and stuff like that. So it's great to see. We appreciate it.
Let's
Shout
get
out to
to
all you guys.
1,000 before Red October, huh?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be really awesome. But yeah, so YouTube, as always, subscribe if you haven't so far, like, comment, run up the views. Make sure to follow up with social media accounts and stuff like that. Keep it on Instagram, Twitter. We're always live tweeting during the games and stuff like that. So, like, retweet, all that type of stuff. We appreciate it. But
All
yeah,
right. Go Phils.
go Phils. We're out of here. Peace.